awesome, absolutely awesome. Love it when a plan comes together. Definitely worth a look. Yeah, it was well on par.
Hi guys, so I'm using my camcorder because the webcam is playing up, so here I am in the comfort of my couch in my room. So here we are, we're reviewing Captain America The First Avenger. I actually did enjoy it. I certainly enjoyed it. I'm sure a number of hardcore Marvel Captain America fans probably didn't enjoy it. I would imagine that the concept and the origin story has been changed somewhat. You all know how I felt regarding Green Lantern, so I'm sure Marvel fans will feel the same way. But in terms of story, casting, characters, effects, overall I actually enjoyed it. I was engrossed, I was intrigued, especially the costume. The costume in particular, I was particularly interested as to how they upgraded the costume as time went on in the film. The first sort of draft costume that he wore was pretty camp, but I'm sure it pays homage to Jack Kirby's original and a few other comic book artists as well that would have that brought Captain America to the comics. Who else? What else have we got? I mean, Chris Evans, I actually thought he wasn't going to be that convincing as Captain America, and actually he did a pretty good job. I thought he did a sterling job. Everybody else, the other cast, Haley Atwell, Stanley Tucci, Tommy Lee Jones, Dominic Cooper, again brilliant. I particularly was overjoyed with Stanley Tucci's character, Dr. Erskine, how he showed the compassion towards Steve Rogers' character before he had the super serum injected in him, seeing that although he was so skinny, so scrawny, he had the courage, and that was what stood out against everybody else that was in the program. And that's what brought him forward to become, Captain America. Hugo Weaving as Red Skull, just that guy can play. You give him a villain, he'll play it, and he does so well as a villain. And I actually quite enjoyed the Red Skull's character. But the story itself, the Red Skull has obtained the Tesseract Cube. I hope I've said that right. Which we saw at the end of Thor. At the time I had no idea what it was, so I didn't know it bore relevance to Captain America, but yes, and it contains unimaginable power, of which we see its effects used to such a length that Johann Schmidt, aka Red Skull, pretty much wants to destroy the world. He wants to take over the world. He wants to overthrow Hitler for starters, and then take out America and things like that. And it's just so amazing just to watch this film and just seeing these events unfold. And I would imagine certain characters probably didn't play out that well for some people, and that's fine. You expect that, especially in a comic book movie, and we all know what comic book movies are like. They're not always consistent, shall we say. But Howard Stark as well. I've got to give credit to Howard Stark, played by Dominic Cooper. I had no idea how involved that guy was to certain things, but again, how that works in the comics, I don't know. So any Marvel fans want to tell me if Howard Stark was heavily involved with regards to Steve Rogers and the Captain America and everything back in World War II, by all means shed whatever you like, whatever light you can on that. I mean, as I say, for me, I thought it was very interesting because there's that connection. The Marvel Universe containing Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, Nick Fury, Incredible Hulk, Hawkeye, that universe, and then for the Avengers to come out next year. And I have to say, when I stayed at the end credits to watch the Avengers trailer, oh my god, I particularly love Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Hemsworth. It's quite a swing you got there. That really does look tasty. And I finally got to see the Dark Knight Rises trailer as well on the big screen. It works, it looks good, so I'm happy about that. But back to the film itself, Captain America. Yeah, very, very interesting. However, my only slight gripe is I felt it ended abruptly. I felt the ending could have been folded out a bit longer. It just felt like it just had a sudden stop, just like that. So I wasn't particularly too happy about it. But yeah, overall I did enjoy it, and I was so quite also taken aback, not taken aback, but I was overwhelmed to see what power the Tesseract Cube actually possessed, because we see a scene where Cap and Red Skull are battling, and we actually see what happens to the Cube and Red Skull, and I just sat there and I went, oh, so that's how that ended up there then. So it explains the end of Thor, like after the credits, how Nick Fury got a hold of it. But yeah, the events that actually unfolded regarding where the cube fell, how it was found, but what happened to the Red Skull regarding the cube. Yeah, it's still baffling me, but I'm trying to work with it again. But overall, definitely enjoyed it. Didn't watch it in 3D, which is a first for me. That a film that is in 3D as well as 2D, I decided to go for the 2D option instead. So yes, I felt it was better to watch it in 2D, and it still works in 2D. I enjoyed it in 2D. I'm not going to see it in 3D. I'm not going to bother. So yes, loved it in 2D. It was good. Yeah. Overall, I would say solid film. Bring on Avengers. That's all I'm going to say. Bring on Avengers. In some ways, and again, I might revert back to the Marvel fans, that it was probably, again, just like Thor and probably Iron Man 2, it was all seen as a big trailer for the Avengers. But watching the trailer for the Avengers itself, it's cooking up. It's cooking up, people. And I have to give credit to Marvel. I really do have to give credit to Marvel. They are doing so well right now. DC, seriously, I love you guys, but you have got a lot of work to do. You've got your work cut out. If you want to be really successful with your characters and bringing them all onto the big screen, Marvel have already beaten you to it. I'm sorry, but they have. You know, I love DC. I'm a big Superman fan, as you know, but my faith in them is suddenly starting to deteriorate, because especially with the relaunch of the comic books, changing certain things regarding the characters as well. After The Dark Knight Rises and Superman comes out, you know, they're going to want to reboot the characters again to pave way for the Justice League. You know, you've kind of left it a bit too late. The competition should have started straight away regarding what Marvel are doing with their characters, and you should have brought Superman and Batman into one film and then carried on from there. But hey, who am I to say? You know, I'm just a fan, so we'll see what happens. But yes, Captain America, solid performance. Everybody that played their part really well. As I say, Chris Evans convinced me as Captain America. I actually thought he wouldn't. Did a lot better than what Ryan Reynolds did with Green Lantern. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, roll on 2012 for the Avengers. That's all I'm going to say there as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye.